everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Sacred She Soul Sessions. I am joined today by Kelly Joy Starr. She's an astrologist, a numerologist, and a whole lot of awesome, and she does a bunch of other things too. So I'm going to turn it right over to you, Kelly, and have you tell us more about what you do, because I know you're up to a lot of cool things, especially with color.
Yeah, color is kind of the new vibe in my life as of late. I guess to just give you a little bit of history, I've been into metaphysics, occult, spirituality for quite a long time. I mean, I consider myself a late bloomer, actually. So it wasn't until just around my 25th birthday and then into my late 20s, I started to question life and question existence and all of that. And then I went through, I guess, one of my many dark nights of the soul. And during this dark night of the soul, I was seeking answers. And this is when all these modalities came and kind of found me, including astrology, numerology, spiritualism, metaphysics, anything with metaphysics. And so astrology was like a pull, right? I just resonated with it right away, and discovering my birth chart was kind of like the lights came on. I'm like, wow, this makes so much sense. And it was huge for me. And so, but I didn't actually decide to become an astrologer until my 30s. At that point, I already had been self-taught for 4 years or so, and I wanted to go deeper, and I started studying astrology and started using astrology and numerology with my clients. I took a program in holistic psychotherapy, but decided I didn't want to be a registered therapist because I'm an Aquarius and I don't really follow rules and regulations very well. And today is actually the solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse in Aquarius. So there's a lot of hype energy going on right now. I'm certainly feeling it. And it just goes with the theme of the Aquarian age. It's really about the unconventional and the radical and the different and the unconventional. So that's really, my path has been really about that. And as much as I try to steer away from it sometimes, because I do have a practical side and think, maybe I should, ground out and do something more practical in life. But I find the metaphysics and the occult and it just keeps drawing me back in. And this past year, I was kind of feeling lost because I kind of felt like I hit a plateau and I didn't really know what I wanted at that point. I wasn't feeling the joy or the inspiration anymore, and I needed something different. But I knew I didn't want to be in my head anymore. I didn't want to go so deep into trying to figure it out, in my mind. I just wanted something to lift me. And that's when colors actually found me, and a modality actually called color mirrors. It's an actual system, and it actually connects with astrology and numerology and all sorts of these things. My favorite things all kind of come together in numerology, in this color mirror system. So astrology and numerology and all these wonderful things. And color is such a high vibration, like color and sound. It's an energy frequency that matches our own, and whatever we're drawn to is really what we are mirroring. That's why we call the system color mirrors. It's literally a mirror to our soul. So I started dabbling into this color system more and discovering more about my own colors and why I'm drawn to some colors and why I actually repel some colors, because those also have a message. And so this past summer, I've been really diving deep with that and decided to become a color mirror practitioner. So I took my training in November, and it was deep healing. Like, people think, these bottles are so pretty and so nice, but they're actually quite powerful and intense and also gentle and subtle at the same time. Like, it's really hard to explain, but I've been going through some deep shifting and purging. And I mean, I've had a history of like working with plant medicines, going to Peru, ayahuasca, St. Pedro, Cambodia, like you name it, I've done it. And but I knew at this point in my life I needed something more gentle. I didn't feel like I had to go through this remnants of like putting myself through these medicine ceremonies, because at that point I realized my body had had enough. Like, I'm vibrating at such a high frequency that putting too much in my system is just actually going to do more harm than good. And I actually had to honor that. And so when the color mirrors came in, I was like, wow, this is perfect. This is something that I don't have to go to Peru, or I don't have to put myself through this intense ceremony with medicine. I can just work with this color. And it's actually been quite intense in moments and quite liberating in moments and joyful, like you name it. It's just such a powerful system, and I'm still on the journey. Actually, it's so new to me, and yeah, I'm just kind of sharing it with people right now. And it's so new to North America. Like it's really popular in the UK because the UK are really more advanced on the spiritual level than we are here in North America, but it's really well known in the UK. It's pretty new to Canada. It's only been in Canada for like 2 years. So and in US, I think there's only maybe 2-3 practitioners in all of US. So it's not really well known right now. Yeah. So here's a bottle I decided to show you guys. It's the Uranus bottle. So it's yellow at the top and dark green at the bottom, and Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, and we are in this Aquarian season, solar eclipse in Aquarius, and we're really feeling that restlessness. A lot of us are, this need to be more independent, seek our own individuality, to break free from these molds and restrictions that either self-impose on us or that we do to ourselves or that are imposed in the environment around us. And when people bathe in these bottles, basically it's bath, right? It's oil at the top and water at the bottom, and you bathe in these, and magic happens. Every bath is completely different, but these are high frequency bottles. Like even being in the presence of the bottles, you feel like even just holding this right now in front of you guys, I'm feeling a lot just by holding it, and they're so mesmerizing. I can just stare at them for hours. Like it's just so cool.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
So we bathe in these bottles, and it's kind of like we go through that experience, and whatever happens, and it's an individual process, but it is color healing, it is energy healing. It's kind of like working with crystals, although I think this is actually quite more powerful, and it's literally alchemy, really. Like sometimes these bottles change color depending on who's working with them. Like it's interesting what happens. So that's been kind of what's been going on with me in my journey, and try to incorporate this now into my path as an astrologer and numerologist, but I'm still trying to find my way through it because I'm going through this rebirthing process. So my whole identity has been shooken up and kind of shaken out, and going through all these different layers of peeling away. And so I'm honoring the fact that things are in a very transitional time, and I know it's not just for me, the collective is also going through this. Like everyone's redefining, reinventing who they are, what they're about, how they want to live their life. And so, I just feel that this is such an important time for me and maybe others to really step into working with like these kind of systems, because they're so powerful, whether it is color or whether it is sound or any form of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I forget, but any form of healing that's not of, the conventional way of healing. I think more of us need to be more open to it. And people like you and I are, but it's starting to expand, right? People know now that they have more choices than listening to, the news or the media. Like there's so much out there that we are wanting to now bring out more to the world. And I think it's just starting to grow more and more. And as we go through this personal transformation, it's just going to create this need for the whole world to follow that flow. So it's
100%. And what if you, like, for anyone that's watching and hopping on, and hi to everyone that's hopping on, by the way, if you've got questions for Kelly, just pop them in the comments as we go through this. But I'm curious, for anyone that is really, really new to this sort of stuff that might be watching this, can you just tell us a little bit about what is astrology and what is numerology? Just like, how would you describe that to someone that's really not familiar with it?
I love it. Hi, Elena. Astrology is literally your blueprint. And if you think, what's a blueprint? It's literally your fingerprint, I would even say. Like literally the palm of your hand is literally what astrology is. The lines that you see in your hand all define what's in the stars. And this is what happened to me back in, I believe, 2007. I went to he was a psychic and an astrologer, and then he did everything like I did pretty much. And he had read my palm, and he was telling me about my stars and my planets. And this is before I discovered astrology, before I actually went on the computer and put in my information and saw my birth chart. I went to this man, and he read my chart, and he read my palm, not my chart, just my hands. And he was reading to me and telling me about my moon and my Venus and Saturn and all these things, and the stuff that he said really resonated. And then it wasn't until I actually discovered astrology, like real astrology, and dove into my birth chart. I saw it in front of me and I thought, oh my God, like this is what this man said. Like he read the stars here. He didn't even have to go into the computer. He saw certain prints in my hand that dictated my destiny and certain lessons in this lifetime and certain gifts and, you know, and talents and all these things. So that's how I describe astrology and numerology, because numerology is tied into your birthday and your actual birth name, which is also another blueprint, because your name is no mistake in this lifetime. So astrology doesn't really focus on the name itself. It works specifically with your time of birth, where you were born, and your day of birth, whereas numerology is specifically your full birth name and your date of birth. And both actually they're different lenses, and they all show different facets, but they point to similar things. So whether you only do numerology, it's okay. It's not like it's all different lenses to point to similar things to give you a sense of self-knowledge, self-realization. Know thyself is what I've been kind of doing my whole life, trying to seek answers, trying to seek who am I, and unraveling all this information. So that's what I tell people. It's your blueprint. And for me, people that don't know about this, I kind of think, how do they function in this world without knowing their stars and without knowing their cycles? But some people do. Some people, they're on a different path, and they're not as drawn to these tools, but they trust their inner wisdom in any other ways. But for me personally, like, I didn't know from left to right. Like, I didn't know what was going on in my life. I was just so lost, and I sought these answers, and they just came to me so eloquently, but so like magnetically. And that's what I tell people. It's really about knowing yourself and knowing your timings, because every client that comes to me, by the end of the session, they're like, thanks for validating what I'm going through, and thanks for confirming I'm right on track and I just need to keep on course, or that I need to just keep this, in the back of my mind. So when it comes in, like, there's no, like, things are not set in stone. However, there's a timing to things, and some people might think, well, no, it's all about manifestation, law of attraction, but actually it's not. And most people would think I'm more cynical and more I don't know, I guess traditional, but it's, in my own journey, I realized you can't fight your destiny. There's a certain timing to things, and there's certain energies that, if you're going through a period of needing to release and needing to let go, and you're completing a cycle, you can't push and be in this active, like, energy of trying to start a new business or whatever, because you're going through a different timing in your life, right? And I find a lot of people sometimes try to fight their timings, including myself at times. I try to outdo what I know what's happening, because the outer world says you got to make things happen, and you got to do this and that, but there's a timing to things. And sometimes family takes priority. Sometimes your health takes priority. Even though you have this ambition to do great things, you might actually have to take care of your health for a little while. You may have to take care of your children for a while, or, things happen in life. And astrology kind of just says, yes, this is all perfect. And you can forgive yourself, and you can forgive the unfoldment of it, especially if you do have judgment around what's going on. And you can just move through it more gracefully versus resentfully and just feeling like life's unfair, right? You can know there's a higher purpose to it. There's a higher plan for all of it, even though it may seem very difficult or unjust or just really difficult, right? It's just, astrology is a gift of forgiveness. I find, just like Course in Miracles, just like any teachings of spirituality, it says just trust the higher power, trust your timing, trust yourself in the process, and don't fight it. Just go with it, right? So that's why I feel like these tools are such gifts in that, to help us just anchor in that and develop more radical self-acceptance and radical self-compassion. Because coming from my own world, my God, like, it's been crazy, and I always have to come back to that, like. And it's not about playing victim or saying my life's unfair. It's knowing, like, yeah, I didn't come with an easy set of cards, I guess, or per se. No one has an easy journey per se, but in the reality of it, some of us have more karma than others, and some of it is what it is. And but it's not to say we're no less and no better, because if you look at the whole experience as a universal oneness, and we're part of that oneness going through our own unique expression, it actually actually creates the ego, or it creates the ability to get our egos in check. and let go of this need to be someone important or someone special or someone really significant. It's about being humble and knowing that our part is perfect, even though it may not be in comparison to someone else. It's like we have our own unique journey, and we need to honor our own unique journey and timing in life. And I find these tools really help with that. On the flip side of it, it's all about working with alchemy and knowing that when you can change your perception of what's going on and you can actually do the real healing and the releasing, you can actually move through it more, these timings more with grace, and then you have a whole new perception about what's going on, so it doesn't seem as like crazy or as difficult as it is, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel this alchemy process is powerful, because it helps us release more of that judgment, or release more of that sense of needing to control it or need to change it, but actually just moving through it with more consciousness and more love, right? So that's that.
I think too, for a lot of people, it provides so much clarity. Like, I know for myself, it's not like I hadn't maybe been called to or had a few tips in the area before, but when you go and you get your birth chart and you get all this information, I know when I had my palm read the first time, it was mind-blowing, because like you said, it really resonates and makes you feel, I think, more connected with yourself and your higher being. And then it gave me a lot of clarity just around the path that I'm on, and that I'm on the right path. And it just kind of brought things, I think, almost together a little bit for me.
For sure. And I mean, and even my example of last year, where I was like, I kind of hit the plateau of my career in a sense, like I hit a timing of it. It was there. Astrology showed it, and I felt it. And I thought, maybe I'll just move away from metaphysics and spirituality and get some grounding in my life, right? Trying to almost dismiss that this is my journey. And as difficult as it can be sometimes, and so, in a cult, like anything occult, in the bigger scheme of things, like this world isn't fully ready for that. I mean, we're getting there, but this whole world is still kind of like, you know, I even still have friends that think this is way over their heads. Like, they say astrology is like Chinese to them. Every time I try to explain, they're like, I don't understand. So and I feel that's where I struggle with, because it's so embedded in me that I just want to share it with the world. But it's like, there's a timing to it too, and certain people just are not there. And but yeah, like honoring that is my journey, and not to feel like, oh, I should have done something more practical with my life. Because I do have a practical, logical side. And there's that part of me that's like, oh, it would have been so much easier if I just, you know, went to do something else and just didn't go into all of this that's still so foreign to many people in this world. And but it's honoring that that's who I am, and not try to fight it, and not try to feel like I'm the black sheep of the family, and like I'm just so like radical and different than most people I know. But it's such a journey that I couldn't trade back for anything. And I don't know, it's such a gift of, again, learning who you really are and working through the timings of your life and being in alignment with that, as like connecting to your soul. And again, working with that ego part of you that's trying to fight things or trying to make things more difficult. It's becoming more, I feel, humble in the process of becoming great. I don't mean humble as in like stay small and don't think you're that great, because we're all magnificent in our own way. But we get so caught up with these ego identifications of what that means. And I find these timings in life humble us, and they bring so much greatness in the ability to just shatter all the illusions and the stuff that just isn't reflective of who we really are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny because this is episode 15, and 15, the 15 is actually the bottle of the magician, and it's olive, and olive's all about new beginnings. And it's literally the alchemist in itself. So we are all our own alchemist in life, right? Just because, and this is the thing I'm really new at right now, and I'm still on the beginning stages of this, but I'm really working with the theme of alchemy. Even though we have these timings and we have these certain things in our blueprint, there's still a magic to it. And it's like, how can we work with that magic to soften things up and not think things have to be so rigid and locked in? And you know, there's still magic to life, and to honor that we do have that gift. And it starts with ourselves, and just really connecting with what resonates with us in life, and just going after it and creating it and playing with it. And sharing it. So yeah, I just thought I wanted to share that bottle with everyone.
Yeah, it's so pretty. It's funny too because you can totally feel the energy in it. Like you're on the other side of Canada and you're holding this little bottle. I'm like, ooh, I want to touch it.
Right? Yeah, they're so cool. So yeah, so there's like two themes today with the Uranus bottle being green and yellow, and then this olive color. So there's definitely a green component of new beginnings, the new cycle of the new moon.
I felt drawn to wear green today.
Yeah, and it's the olive, exactly, all about new beginnings. That's great. That's so synchronistic.
Yeah.
And I also,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, before we wrap up, I wanted to ask, just because you're really knowledgeable in this area, if there's any wisdom you can share with us just around the new moon that we're coming into today, and if you have any tips around how this ties into whether it's astrology, numerology, color, or all of them, but is there anything you can point out that anyone listening should be aware of, or if they're catching the replay later today?
Yeah, so the new moon in Aquarius, it's at 27 degrees. So there's also this energy around. So when you add 27 equals 9, and 27 is actually a really powerful number. It's actually my birth path number to 27-9, and that number represents knowing that we are the queen and the kings of our own life, right? To know that we can stand firm in our own authority. You know, we get to make the decisions for ourselves of how we want to show up. It may not be easy. It may cause a lot of upheaval and create sometimes chaos in our lives, but we have to follow that inner guidance, and we have to be true to that. And I think that's the whole Uranus energy. It's what are you willing to clean out of your life, and what are you willing to, in your life are you allowing things just to get messy for a while and not trying to fix it or clean it up? Just let things just kind of come up and be, and just see where that takes us. I think that's the whole representation of this new moon, is to let this energy just kind of rattle us for a bit, challenge us, and know where we need to kind of just let loose and break free from not needing this sense of how to make everything so perfect or in order. Like, just go with it. And there's a level of completion here still happening, even though it's a new beginning. There's a level of needing to let go, or these old beliefs that we're still processing, that need to be kind of acknowledged and processed as well. And there's a bit of exaggeration with this energy because of Jupiter in Scorpio. A lot of us are feeling this need to dive deeper into our shadows and unravel our fears and our insecurities, or even our own light and our own fear of shining in who we really are. But that's part of this energy for today, is to honor that you are different in your own, no one else out there is like you. You have your own blueprint, and no one can match your vibration, your sound. No one in this world is like you. And to let go of that need to really fit in, belong, and to just be that part of you that just can shine in your own magnificence, in your own individuality, I think is the best message for everyone. And I want to just shuffle these cards just to pull a card. This is the Color Mirror deck that my mentor actually created. She's the one who came to Canada with this system.
Amazing.
I just want to pull a card for everyone and just kind of so last thing, that these color mirror bottles, they're actually an oracle in themselves, just like astrology, numerology, and even tarot cards. So these bottles can actually work as that, and you can do healings with the bottles, healings obviously with the baths, and you can also do readings. So the bottles and the numbers, each bottle has a number, so it connects to numerology. Some are connected to planets, some are connected to the archetypes of the tarot. So it's all really cool how it all connects in. And we also have these essence sprays. I just have to share this one little bit. The Pink Angel, this is the one that I've been spraying lately. It's all about self-love and seeking more love and harmony within relationships. So the fact that we celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday, this is just an awesome spritzer, great to use between baths. You just spray some on. I'm like so addicted. It just smells so good. I wish you guys were here to smell it, but it's just amazing. Whenever you need it, and it shifts everything. Oh, it smells so good. Yeah, I just had to do that in front of the camera so you guys can. Okay. So one card here. Oh, this is so cool. I just pulled, this was the last card I pulled the other day, and it's coming up again, which is validating for me. It's the White Dragon Color Healer. So for those of you who are drawn to color and you're feeling really inspired by this is possibly a message for you saying maybe this is time for you to incorporate color in your healing practice or in your own personal life. So that's really cool. The White Dragon is a spritzer. I don't have it yet, but I'm definitely going to buy it because this is the second time I pulled this card, and it's just so cool that it's come up again, which is affirming I'm on the right track and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing. So the color healer says that you are gifted in working with color as a tool for therapy and teaching. As you heal your own issues with color, you will also be able to offer color knowledge to help others make powerful changes to their lives. Your connection with color therapy dates back to ancient civilizations. The White Dragon holds the full rainbow and will help you find courses and opportunities to study color. Color psychology is a subject of infinite knowledge, and when you commit to working with color, you embark on a program of lifelong learning and fun. The information colors offer will ensure you never get bored, and it will reward you with deep insights as you raise your self-awareness and claim your authentic power. Step into the rainbow gift step into the rainbow gift offered to you now. And like Dorothy, I love this part, like Dorothy who walked the yellow brick road in her red shoes, searching for the Emerald City, your color adventure will begin.
I love that.
Yeah, and that's been kind of my theme lately, like just follow the yellow brick road and know that you have the power within you to do that. And your own yellow brick road will look different than someone else's, but you got to trust that intuition that you are going to get yourself there no matter what. And you need to check your ego out of what that's supposed to look like and just follow your soul no matter what the world tells you, no matter who you're trying to compare yourself to. Just be you, be true, and shine your own true colors, because you're the only one here that can be you, and you're unique, you're special, and you have a special journey that you need to honor. And that's just such a great validation. I just absolutely love that card.
I love that. So if anyone is catching this and they're being particularly drawn to colors and that message is really resonating with them, can you tell us, number one, where is it best to get in touch with you? I know you have a lot going on. Like, you've got your Facebook, you've got your business page, you've got your website. So tell us where it's best to connect with you. And then for anyone that's being particularly drawn to the color stuff, is it best that they get in touch with you, or is there a link they should be going to look directly into, the courses that you've taken and stuff?
Yeah, so they can reach me on my Facebook page at this point, Kelly Joystar, mystical astrologer and color and integrative color priestess. My website, I'm in the process of rebranding, so my website is still kind of it's under construction right now, but later on it will be kellyjoystar.com. But people can reach me at this point through Facebook. Either my business page or my personal page, doesn't really matter. Color Mirrors is very new to Canada, so there's not a whole lot of opportunity to study unless you actually connect with someone and travel, because this is not something you can learn online. You actually have to learn in person, and you actually have to go through your own healing with the bottles, which is intensive. It's quite the journey. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be actually training as I'm going to be doing my Color Mirrors teachers training. So I did my practitioners training in November. I'll be doing my teachers training in April, and after that I'll be certified to teach people about the system and people who want to be practitioners. But it has to be in person. There's no option to do online yet, unfortunately, because it's just something you have to experience in person. But I offer readings. I offer coaching sessions with the system, including what I already do, and I can ship bottles for people, or even the spritzers. Each spritzers also have a different meaning. There's all sorts of different colors of these guys as well. Those can be shipped to people as well, so that they can go through their own experience of what this healing color journey is all about. So that's pretty much it at this point. I think I will be, so things are still kind of, I have a lot of training even this week, and then in April I have my teacher's training, and after that hopefully I'll have my website done and everything will be good to go. It's such a new thing, and everything is so new, and yeah, it's going to be great, but everything's still under construction right now, but they can still find me on.
Progression.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, it's changed everything. The whole color mirrors have shifted my energy so much that I don't even like the color black anymore. I thrived off black. My old website, it's gonna expire soon, but I'm wearing black. There's like a lot of black in it. And since the color mirrors, I can't wear black. Black is so dense and heavy and depressing. And it's funny how I used to live in it for like, I used to love wearing black. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And now I can't because the colors have shifted me in so many ways. It's incredible. So that's why I have to restart everything. I have to start my new brand, my new website. Everything is starting over. And believe me, when you work with the system or in a powerful system such as color mirrors, expect your life to shift radically or shift in a way that's going to clear away a lot of the old and get you really in touch with your soul's true journey, and even your own vibration you'll be more in alignment with what's true. And it's incredible how it unfolds. So that's about it, Jenna.
Amazing. That was super insightful, Kelly. I really appreciate it because I'm a little bit familiar with sometimes the power of colors, but not to the depth of the training that you've taken. And then just getting a little bit more info on how astrology and numerology are all connected with these colors. So I think that was extremely insightful, and I'll link up all of your links afterwards here into the comments for everybody to check things out if they want to get in touch. And yeah, I really appreciate you joining us today. And for everyone that caught this live, or if you're catching the replay later today, thank you for tuning in and joining us.
Yes, it's been wonderful. This has been such an opportunity, and I thank you, Jenna, for sharing your platform and sharing this, because this is really exciting for me, and it's so new and powerful. And it's cool when you get to learn about the colors and find out your vibrations of your name and even the stars and connect them to specific bottles and specific archetypes. And it's just such a cool system. It just unravels so much of your own energy and how to work with that. It's really cool. So thank you so much for letting me share my journey with all of you. And I look forward to hearing more of your journey. And whoever wants to reach out to me, you know where to find me. Facebook would be a great start.
Awesome, Kelly. Yeah, no, I really appreciate that because that was so insightful, and I can't wait to explore it a little bit more myself as well. And having you here in our community today was a total blessing.
Cool. Yes, and I will connect. Even though my website is not fully launched, I'll send the link just to the bottles, so you can actually see the bottles and the bottles, and you can click on them and read the meaning and kind of see how that resonates. And don't be surprised the first bottle you choose and you click on it and you read it, you're like, oh my God, how did it know? Because it's literally your own mirror reflection. Like, and that's what drew me in, because my first bottle was like, wow, really? That's exactly where I'm at right now. It's so incredible. So I'll share the link after this is finished. So
perfect. I can't wait to check it out.
Cool. Thanks, Jenna.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a